Hello, and welcome to Post Watch Thoughts, a series in which I watch a movie and use my knowledge of the cinematic arts to discuss and review the movie fairly close to the end of my viewing. Today's movie is Hereditary. Let's begin. I remember when Hereditary came out and it had very mixed reviews. There were some people saying it was really good, some people saying it was really bad. Basically, the reviews were scattered everywhere. I recall seeing a few trailers and I thought it was interesting, but I just never got around to watching it. So fast forward to now, and I think I'm still in shock. So I guess I'll just start off with the twist. Having only watched two of the trailers, I thought I knew what I was getting myself into. It's like, oh, it's just another horror movie, except this one's just gonna be like a well-made one, so it'll look nice and would be good. And I recall the trailers having a heavy emphasis on Shapiro's character Charlie, um, and the Charlie was very important in the movie, just not in the way that I expected. I thought she was gonna be like the focus of the movie, which in a way she was, but again, not in the way I expected. I think what I'm trying to say is, I thought she would be alive for the whole movie. Um, I guess that was a spoiler, but from here on out, like big time spoilers. When she was decapitated by the light pole, I was just in shock. I think, I'm not gonna lie, I think my face was a carbon copy of Peter's face when he realizes what's happened. And I just sat there, just like, what just happened? They killed her, and this is like the first 20-30 minutes of the movie? Now, of course, this experience could be exclusive to me as I didn't really read or know much about the movie, but I feel like nobody saw that coming. Like, none of the trailers even referenced Charlie's death. And this surprise was really unexpected, which is what made the rest of the movie more impactful. So, from the moment Charlie is killed, I immediately knew I no longer knew what the movie was doing. And it's this subverting of expectations that really made the movie good. Because nowadays studios are scared that people don't want to go see the movie. So they market it to death and they show the whole movie through TV spots and trailers, which is a really big problem. Um, and this movie was clever, yes, and they did trick the audience, which I could see some people being upset about, but they did it in a good way. They didn't subvert expectations of what genre it is. It's still a horror movie, but they just made it better because we had no clue about what was happening, and I respect that a lot. The way the movie handles its characters is really well done. More specifically, it's a main group of people. So you've got the dad, who's just kind of there. You've got the mom, who of course is the focus of the movie. Charlie, who is strange, and it's that strangeness that portrays her as an outcast, which makes the audience feel bad for her at the start. And then you have Peter, who is presented as just the older brother. You know, he does older brother things. So these people become like actual like good characters around Charlie's death. So Charlie's character is built prior to her death, you know, for obvious reasons. But I put built in quotes because she isn't really much of a fleshed out character. But like I said, the movie handles its characters very well. Um, by revealing only information that's necessary to Charlie for us to know, like her nut allergy, and by portraying her as an outcast, um, like I said, you already feel bad for her. So when she's at the party and her brother, and you see the girls making the cake with the nuts in it, you know something bad's gonna happen. And then she eats the cake, and she starts choking, and you're like, oh shit, this is not going well, but it's what I was expecting. So you feel safe because you expected that to happen. And so then she walks to the room where her brother is, and this is where the movie starts these characters to emotionally attack the audience. So Peter, of course, leaves the party in a rush to get Charlie to the hospital, And, he's driving down the road at these insane speeds, and just because of that, and the pacing, and the atmosphere of the scene, you know something bad is gonna happen, so you're prepared. You've already started preparing. And, like, as he's driving, I'm sitting there thinking, oh my god, Peter must feel horrible. He neglected his sister at a party to go and smoke weed with some other people, and now she's having a deathly allergic reaction. I don't even know what I would do in that situation, so I can't even imagine what he's feeling. Um, and then, uh, and then she gets decapitated, and you're like, "What? I'm sorry? Did that just happen?" Because you know something bad is gonna happen. You're expecting them to get into an accident, but for her to die, to get decapitated at the start of the movie, you're instantly in shock. At least I was. Um, and then you see Tyler in shock. And then you start thinking about what happened and what has to happen following. And you're like, oh my god, his sister is dead. He's alive. He has to go home with his dead sister. And of course, the mom has her breakdown, which is chilling. Her performance was beyond amazing. And, like, the mom's so devastated, and we know it was Peter's fault. So we think about the relationship between Peter and Annie, the mom. Meanwhile, the dad is just there, but through this whole situation, he's so much more than that. His wife is intensely grieving and sort of isolating herself. And, Peter, yeah. So, like, he's going through some shit, obviously. And the dad is watching his family fall apart. And he can't fall apart. So he has to stay strong and try to hold everybody together, which is it's so much stress and it's so hard on him, which is what makes he finally breaks down. It finally makes his breakdown later in the movie and the car even more impactful. This movie does a really good job juggling the emotions and the positions of the family after Charlie's death, and I'll keep saying that until the day that I die. I mean, characters are so important to anything, and they really help make this movie like what it is. I remember hearing all the reviews bashing the ending of the movie. I didn't mind it, not because of the whole cult stuff storyline. I didn't really care about that, but it was because it wasn't a happy ending. So most movies, as we all know, have a happy ending and everything works out for each character. But this movie doesn't do that. And most horror movies have a happy ending in the sense that the main character, the main focus of the movie, saves the day. Like, they win. Like, for example, in The Babadook, it's not really a happy ending, but the mom triumphs over this evil spirit. That sort of sense of a happy ending. But Hereditary did the rare thing and had no happy ending and nothing working out for any of the characters. Let's see. Annie died, Charlie died, the dad died. Peter's body was alive, but Peter certainly isn't there anymore. And so I guess Charlie isn't there anymore because now she's that king of hell or whatever. It's kind of ending where it's not happy and none of the characters are okay. It can be very impactful, especially in grounded movies, because it shows the reality of life. This movie obviously isn't 100% grounded, but I do still think that that kind of ending with this kind of moody movie made an impact. I don't really know what kind of impact. I just know there was an impact because it resonated with me after watching. The thing with the cult and Annie's mom and Joan, I didn't mind it, but I think that it was really just there to further the plot of the movie. Um, like the fact that I don't really have anything to say about it, I think serves as like it wasn't what made the movie good. It was a very character driven movie, and it was very well done. But all in all, the subverting of expectations set the tone of the movie, and it kickstarted the anticipation for the whole thing. The characters and their dynamics with each other, I think, are what made the movie so good. And I enjoyed the ending for what it was. Anyways, if you're watching, I know the channel is very, very small right now. And the only views on the videos are from me when I come back to check to see how many views are on the video. But, if you're watching, you should totally discuss the movie in the comments or message me about it. I love talking about movies. I have a ball with it. And, the channel's small enough so I can respond to literally everybody. Thank you for watching Post-Watch Thoughts. There'll be more to come, and I'll see you next time.